Financial institutions have not been able to fully service the consumer credit market since the financial crisis in 2008. As a result, customers started to look elsewhere to get their loans funded. The market evolved and a new way of loan funding emerged: marketplace lending. However, this online lending community has also had its ups and downs over the past few quarters. But this community has changed the way customers think about loans and getting financed. Financial institutions need to be aware of this market disruption and thinking about where their loan services now fit within this evolved market. Hi, I am Elizabeth Santarelli, Innovation Manager for Fiserv.
And I'm Andrew Barnett with Digital Channels Consulting.
We would like to show you through our Innovations Genius Banking app how financial institutions can take the positives from the online lending community's market disruption and couple those with their own strengths to start having a different type of loan funding conversation with their customers: bank-secured social funding.
So Elizabeth's a customer of our fictional bank, Genius. So she's going to go and launch her Genius banking app. She used this banking app to open her checking account after seeing the Finovate Spring demo and seeing the capabilities of it. She's going to authenticate with her Touch ID, and at the top you can see that checking account as well as her savings account. And at the bottom you can see some of her spending flows. But what we're really interested in is the middle of the screen, the bank-secured social funding loan advertisement that Elizabeth alluded to in her introduction. What the Genius Bank has done is they've partnered with a marketplace lender to try to drive adoption or try to drive origination and funding of loans and increase their loan volume. They also hope to deliver complementary services to their borrowers and users. Elizabeth is in the market for a loan now, so this loan is timely. You could also see that 3 of her friends like this community on Facebook, which further drives her to check this out. She opens the loan itself and is taken to the loan section of the app. This is a landing screen for that section of the app. If she goes to the next screen, we can see some details around what bank-secured social funding really is, as well as some of the benefits to her as an end-user borrower. So she's anxious to get started with the conversation around this loan and the Genius Bank, so she swipes down, and the conversation is started. Really, she just needs to answer some basic questions, because remember, Elizabeth opened her account through this app, as well as has driven a lot of transaction history through the app. So the Genius Bank knows a lot about her, meaning that they don't have to ask her a lot of unnecessary questions. These are only relevant to the loan that she's looking to get. She wants a small business loan. The reason she wants it, she's going to start a food truck business called Taco Contento. And all she really needs to do after telling the bank what they're doing, or what she's planning to do with the money, is tell her how much money she needs, how long she needs it for, and how often she wants to make payments. Once that has all been submitted, Genius will essentially know, because of the questions that she's answered, what it is she wants it for. It's a small business. So in order to better service her and drive the adoption of complementary services, they're going to offer her a small business checking account. She needs a checking account. She'd rather not run this business out of retail like a lot of small businesses actually do. So she's going to say, yes, I do want a small business checking account. That would actually make sense for me to run this business. Now we just need to get explicit permission from her to check all of her data and run background checks, et cetera, to put together some loan packages. Now remember, Elizabeth authenticated initially with Touch ID, which is, for the Genius Bank, they want a more secure form of authentication to proceed. And so what Genius has done is they've integrated to Dayon's Identity X platform for facial recognition. You may remember this from yesterday. Dayon's platform is called here. Elizabeth centers her face in the oval and blinks to indicate that she's not a photograph and she's an actual living person. And once she does that, our loan options are produced. And here's really the reason that this bank-secured social funding loan product is driving adoption for the bank. She sees that she's getting the $30,000 loan that she asked for at a blended rate. You can see, though, from the pie chart that only a portion of that loan is being funded by Genius Bank. That's the orange piece. They're funding $21,000 of it at a 5% interest rate. The other portion, the marketplace lender partner, is funding the other piece. What would have happened prior to this being the case is this loan likely would have been declined or rejected. Elizabeth may not have gotten funded. And remember, she opened this just after Finovate Spring. She hasn't been a customer very long. Her risk of leaving the Genius Bank is quite high should they reject her loan. But because they're funding her loan through this partnership with a marketplace lender, she's able to get what she wants, start her business, and keep her relationship with the Genius Bank. You can see her loan summary there at the bottom. So now she's going to formally apply for the loan itself. And once she applies, Genius says, look, we're going to come back to you and ask you for some more pieces of documentation, et cetera, to get this pushed through formally. Elizabeth thinks that's okay, so she checks that. And now we come to the second huge benefit to what we're offering here, which is the ability for Genius to service Elizabeth with a complimentary service around her small business loan. We know that she's about to start a business because she agreed to a checking account and she applied for a loan. You can see that small business checking account here. You can see the loan here as well. This is where she'll make payments of the loan. Again, she's able to use small business banking mobile here rather than having to run her business out of her existing retail account or open another retail account for that. But she can still swipe over and see that retail account here. So she can swipe between retail and business now under one app and one set of credentials, but she has two different profiles to do so.
We believe that there's huge potential for financial institutions to build on the relationship that they already have with their customers and deliver amazing user experience and service in this area. We hope that Genius app has shown you the possibilities and helped spark a conversation around bank-secured social funding. Thank you.